When the world didn't want me and made me feel small, all I am is broken inside. Some echo identity who can't find his shadow always hurts mentally. So we're going to be breaking down the lyrics of Burden. Now, this song, for those who don't know, is really, I would say, pretty personal to me because I do feel like a burden almost every day. There's not a day where I don't feel like a burden, but the days I don't feel like a burden, I'm grateful for. But we're going to be breaking down the lyrics for Burden. So without a further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So we're going to start with verse 1, which goes, I wish I could say what's in my head, but when I try, I just feel dead. So those first 4 lines, it's when someone calls you out as a burden. When someone, well, not even, they don't say you're a burden, but they put you down as if you're a burden. And when they do that, I end up, like, I have thoughts in my mind of what I want to say to that, but then I just accept what's being said to me, and I don't put, like, those inside thoughts I don't put out there. And for this song, I wanted to justify that feeling and put these lyrics in here because, yeah, when I wish I could say what's in my head, but when I try, I just feel dead. Because what's the point of saying what's in my head if it comes off rude or something like that? And then there are repercussions for saying something like that. When you say what's in your head and it doesn't come out right, there are repercussions for those actions. So I just stay quiet. But then moving on to the next 4 lines here. Fear takes over. I don't know why. Speaking scares me. I'd rather hide. I don't know if I've said this. I probably said it in Isolationship when I broke the lyrics for that down. But I did used to be hugely socially awkward, and like, speaking sometimes just scares me. But in this case of Burden, fear takes over. I don't know why. Like, the fear of saying the things in my mind. Fear takes over, so I just don't say anything. I don't know why speaking scares me. I'd rather hide. Like, I'd rather hide away those thoughts. I'd rather hide away myself than face the repercussions of my actions if I were to say something. If I were to say something because someone's trying to put me down. And yeah, this whole verse, it basically is describing why I don't speak up about how I'm feeling inside when someone does put me down. But even if there was an instance where I had spoke out, it wouldn't do anything. It would just make me feel worse. But then moving on to the pre-chorus, I always seem to bring you down. Like, wait, it's too much now. So the thing behind those lyrics is, like, there is a double meaning here. There's a huge double meaning to this pre-chorus, and it is, I always seem to bring you down like weight, but also, this is like the first time I've had like a super deep double meaning in like lines. So I always seem to bring you down like weight, because weight does bring you down, it slows you down. But also in that sense, I always seem to bring you down. Like, every time someone puts me down or they make me feel like a burden, it comes back around to, I always seem to bring you down because you seem to be upset or something. But then also, like wait, it's too much now. Also, like waiting, like patience, it's too much now. Like the wait, but also the weight is too much now. Like, it's too much on me. Like, it's a burden on me. There's a lot of there's a lot of double meanings to this pre-chorus. Like, wait, it's too much now. Like, the weight, the pressure is too much now. But literally, I thought about this and I thought it was clever to include weight as like pounds, but also weight as in patience. There's just a lot of double meaning to the pre-chorus. But yeah, And then moving on to the actual chorus, I'd rather be a burden than have to face what's hurting deep down inside. So this wasn't actually going to be in the final product, but then I thought, why not include it? Because I think there are some times where maybe it's better to be a burden than have to face what's hurting deep down inside, because then at that point you just move on with your day, right? You just move on from whatever's going on. You move on. You take a breather. You just move on. There are days where I'd rather be a burden than have to face what's hurting deep down inside. Like the pain that I feel inside, I'd rather just move on and just be done with the moment, be done with the situation, just move on completely. And then going on to the other lyrics here, I feel it crushing me endlessly like I'm about to break. So basically, I feel it. So the it is basically, it could be anything. It could be a rock. It could be something heavy. But I more so look at it as like the word burden. I take that as like any heavy object that I could think of. So I feel it crushing me endlessly like I'm about to break, because being put down and being a burden, you start to feel it more and more as time goes on if people keep putting that pressure on you. But yeah, it's not fun, and that's what the song is about. It's about the pressure, the weight that is being put onto you, and having to deal with it every day of your life. Moving on to the other lyrics here. Always drowning here, my only fear this pressure could take. And again, in verse 1, I said fear takes over. But always drowning here, my only fear this pressure could take. But yeah, always drowning here. So like, you also think of a burden like if a weight is pulling you down. I pictured like being pulled down into water and being submerged because there's so much pressure building up with water if you're deep underwater. And then my only fear this pressure could take my thoughts down the drain with all of this pain. And then kind of going back to the whole water thing, my only fear this pressure could take my thoughts down the drain with all this pain, because in my head I'm thinking I want to speak out and say something about being a burden and being put down, but the pressure, the water when you're getting submerged and being pulled down by a weight could take my thoughts down the drain with all of this pain. Again, going back to I'd rather be a burden than have to face what's hurting deep down inside. So all the pain, all the burden, it goes down the drain. It keeps getting pulled under, like keeps getting buried deep beneath, and I don't get the chance to speak my thoughts, and I just let it go. But then going into, even if I don't deserve it, then I know for certain I'm just a burden. So even if I don't deserve it, then I know for certain I'm just a burden. Even if I don't deserve it, like, because like, you think about it, like, even if I don't deserve it, that right there is, even if I don't deserve it, like, even if I know I'm not a burden, even if someone else thinks I'm a burden, even if I don't think I'm a burden, even if I don't deserve it, then I would know for certain I'm just a burden. So it's those three lines right there just say like, hey, I know I'm not a burden, but the people around me think I'm a burden, but even if I don't deserve it, I know for a fact I'm just a burden to everyone else. And this chorus is huge for me because it is describing everything I have felt currently and ongoing, you know. But moving on to verse 2, I think about the times I could have spoke, but it drives me crazy because I always choke. Going back to the whole, I wish I could just speak my mind, but I can't because there are repercussions for doing so. But I think about the times I could have spoke, but it drives me crazy because I always choke. Because I always choke up when I try to speak my mind. And it does drive me crazy. And I always think back to the times where I could have said something, but I end up just not speaking my mind and I let it go. And then next line here, all these hours spent locked in thought, seeing confidence as what I'm not, because I'm not a confident person. At least I don't think I am. But then all these hours spent locked in thought because I'm constantly thinking about What can I do to not feel like a burden? What can I do to not let this go and kind of get my thoughts out there? But but then seeing confidence as what I'm not kind of goes back to, oh, I shouldn't say anything. I shouldn't say anything because I'm not confident enough to do so. But yeah, that's verse 2. And then going on to the pre-chorus, it goes back to, I always seem to bring you down. So the like weight part goes away, but I always seem to bring you down. Going back to that, like, I always seem to bring you down. Always. Like, there's not a moment where I don't bring you down. And like the people that make you feel like a burden, it's almost like they're like a little narcissistic and they feel like they're like, I don't know, slighted by the fact that you're a burden. That's why I wrote this line, because I always seem to bring you down. It's such a deep line. But yeah, and then moving on from this, going into the chorus again, everything's the same here, but the one thing that does change is I cut off the "I'm just a burden" part, and it says, "Then I know for certain." Going into the bridge, and again so we'll go over all of this. But speaking my mind is harder than you think, because I think a lot of people think, oh, you just say something. You got something on your mind, say it. It's way harder than you think, because I was socially awkward. I didn't know how to talk, like, a lot. I didn't know how to have conversations like crazy. So that's why I wrote that line, speaking my mind is harder than you think. And also the thoughts in there, like, those are hard to just bring out and think about or say, you know? Every time I speak, I'm the ship that always sinks. So going back to the kind of water concept is, every time I speak, I'm the ship that always sinks. So again, the weight bringing me down. And it's funny because, like, when I was thinking about the weight bringing you down line, I thought about the fact that, like, it was a weight pulling me down, like, just like as a person. But then I thought, what if I'm a ship? Like, I just sink, like, just for some reason, you know? I can't explain this. My life, the shame, some endless cycle that hurts my brain, because I think I'm constantly being put down. I'm constantly a burden, and then it's like an endless cycle, and I can't explain how, like, I can explain it, but it's hard to understand unless you've gone through it. But and then my life, the shame, my whole life I felt like a burden, and it's shameful, because you feel like a burden. You feel like you can't, you can't say things to speak out and be like, stop making me feel this way. And it hurts my brain. It does. Like, I kind of just shut down. I let it go. But then I wrote here, somehow I'll find my way back, though it hurts now. Like, I'll find my way back even if I am a burden, because I know for a fact I'm not a burden. I know that. But I'm gonna find a way back. Though it hurts now, I'll fight till I lack words to describe the pain I'm in, though honestly, where do I begin? Like, I'll fight till I lack words to describe the pain I'm in. Like, I'll keep pushing on until I don't feel like a burden anymore. But then I ask, like, though honestly, where do I begin? Because you don't know how to move past, like, a feeling like this, like being a burden. It's a hard feeling to, like, I don't know, get rid of. But it's just a question I ask, because I'm like, where do I go from here? Like, but moving on to the chorus, which is a little bit changed here. I'll just talk about the lines that I do change, but broken before the break. So you kind of imagine like I was about to break, but now I'm broken before the break. So even before, like, people put me down and call me a burden, I'm broken before the breaking. So I'm already broken. So I've been broken before they broke me, And then always drowning here, my pool of tears. So instead of my only fear, my pool of tears, because I'm constantly, like, depressed because of being put down, being a burden. And then kind of skipping through here, my thoughts down the drain with all this pain. I want to be more than hurting. And I wrote a lot of lines here to kind of, not to rhyme, but like to kind of make sense with what I was talking about. I want to be more than hurting. I want to be more than a burden. I want to be more than being put down. That is where this all kind of stems from, is it hurts. It hurts to be a burden, and it's not a good feeling. And then even if I don't deserve it, I'm so tired of hurting. I'm tired of being a burden. I'm tired of being put down. I'm tired of not feeling like I'm enough. It's not a good feeling, and if you've ever felt it, I'm sorry. But yeah. And then without any way to control it, because you can't control that. You can't control how people are going to act towards you and how they're going to like call you or they're going to put you down. You can't control that. Though you wish you could, but you just can't. And then I know for certain I'm just a burden. This song for me it's very personal. I think it's one of those songs that has to be out there, regardless if people listen to it. But it's a deep song for me, and I do hope you guys enjoyed the song. I hope it brought you a little bit of peace of mind knowing that, hey, you're not alone out there. I also feel this way. So if you want to listen,